I'm Stephen Constable, Professor of Geophysics at Scripps Institution of Oceanography. I study all things to do with electromagnetic induction, but my speciality is marine electromagnetic methods. At periods shorter than 11 years, the variation in Earth's magnetic field comes not from the core, but from outside, from the magnetosphere, the ionosphere, energy trapped in the atmosphere by lightning, even from man-made sources such as power and radio frequency. These induce currents in the Earth because the water, the minerals, and the magma that make up Earth's crust and mantle conduct electricity. They don't conduct as well as metals, but they compensate for that by their volume. So, for example, a large ocean wave can conduct as much electricity as a household electrical wire. So when the external magnetic field variations interact with these conductive rocks in the Earth, they induce electric currents. And perhaps the best way of understanding this is to think about a power transformer. Current in the primary of the transformer creates a magnetic field that varies at whatever your power line frequency is, and that induces electric currents in the secondary part of the transformer. So that's like variations in the Earth's magnetic field inducing currents in the conductive part of the rocks. We can measure these external magnetic field variations with a magnetometer, and to measure the induced currents we put electrodes in the soil, maybe 10 to 100 meters apart, and then make measurements of the voltage across them with a voltmeter. And then with a lot of fancy math, we can use the ratio of the magnetic to electric fields to infer electrical conductivity of the rocks at the measurement site. We call this the magnetotelluric method. We can supplement Earth's magnetic field changes with magnetic fields created by ourselves by using transmitters, passing currents through coils of wire either laid out on the ground or towed beneath helicopters. And we call this the controlled source method, and it's now our transformer analogy is more complete. We can get depth from frequency. Magnetic signals from the high part of the spectrum only penetrate a few meters into the ground. At periods between minutes and an hour, this increases to many kilometers. And if we go all the way out to 11 years, we can see all the way to the Earth's core. Electrical conductivity in rocks varies by a factor of 1 billion, so induction measurements are very useful for extending geological maps to depth. So, for example, we can see the thickness of sedimentary basins and the locations and depths of earthquake faults. All minerals are conductive, so we can use EM methods for mining exploration. Hot rocks are more conductive than cold rocks, so it's useful for geothermal energy studies. Magma is about as conductive as seawater, so induction methods are useful for mapping magma chambers beneath volcanoes. Rocks containing water are more conductive than dry rocks, but salty water is more conductive than drinkable water, so EM conductivity methods are useful for finding water wells and studying aquifers. Electromagnetic induction methods are key for exploring for the resources that people need: minerals, energy, water. They're important for studying volcanic and earthquake hazards. When we start storing carbon dioxide in geological formations to combat climate change, we can use EM methods to see where the CO2 goes and make sure it's not leaking out. We can use marine induction methods to determine where it is safe to put foundations for wind farms. We can even map the melting of permafrost at depth with induction methods. There's very little that we can't learn about the Earth by using EM induction.